Welcome back to another episode of the House Husband Diaries. I am your host, as always, Carter C. And as you can see, we're pimping this new set here, and we're just trying to figure things out. It's a lot of fun for me to be able to to produce these videos and share a little bit about my life. Mainly, I've been sharing stories and will continue to share stories of things that I've done. Maybe I'll start to get into some of the things, the day in and day out life of a house husband. Now, I'm sure we'll get there, but yeah, man. So I'm on this series now that I've called Old Dogs, New Tricks, and it's really about you're never too old to learn a new hobby, new language, something new, even though that sort of seems to be the standard response for people. Oh, I'm too old, can't teach an old dog new tricks. And I just don't take much stock in that. That seems really, short-sighted and small-minded, if you will. And I don't mean to offend anybody. If you just are at a point where you say, hey, I'm at the point where I don't want to learn anything new, I can't learn anything new, whatever, you know what? You're probably not on YouTube. You're probably not watching this, right? So I think I'm okay. But I don't mean anything personal to people that are at that point. I come from a family that has people in it that are like that. Hey, we are who we are, and that's they're not Kesha, and that's fine. Like, it is what it is. I think for me, it's been fun in my 30s to have learned new hobbies, like big things. So, like previous video was me learning scuba diving in my mid-30s. But I also learned to ski in my mid-30s. And that's something also, when I got married, my wife was an avid skier. That was not something that I ever grew up doing. In my 20s, I went snowboarding twice. And the second time I went snowboarding, I'm pretty sure I cracked at least one rib. I'm not sure. But I hit massively hard, and I couldn't do I couldn't push up off of that side, like roll over on bed, in the bed. I couldn't sneeze. I couldn't laugh. But it wasn't sticking into my lungs or anything, and so I didn't go to the doctor, so I never got any x-rays. But I'm pretty sure, it took like 6-8 weeks to heal. I'm pretty sure I cracked some ribs. So those are my two experiences, snowboarding, and then my wife was like, well, let's go skiing. Skiing's easier, right? So the first time I ever went skiing was back where the first time I ever went snowboarding, which is I'm gonna butcher it. It's Snowshoe, I think, in West Virginia. I think that's it. My wife and I are headed to Snowmass in Colorado in a few months. So anyway, yeah, Snowshoe, I think, is in West Virginia. And so I went there, and my wife's like, skiing's way easier. She's done both. She was like, you'll pick it up, no problem. I grew up playing basketball competitively and like decently athletic. So I was like, I don't know, snowboarding kicked my butt. We'll see. I'm older. I'm not in as good a shape. So we went to the bunny hill and bunny slopes and so, cruising down the bunny slope, and it's sort of the same thing as what happened with snowboarding. Is the bunny slope is just so much wider and less steep that it just gives you a false sense of security. You're like, oh, I'm crushing this, bro. Like I'm ready for the top of the mountain. And you couldn't be further from ready to go. So I did a few laps on the bunny slopes, and I said, okay, let's go. And I remember going off on a snowboard, and I was like, man, we're gonna head off and we're gonna go down this run. And I said, I don't know, I fell here, 10 years ago or so when I came here on snowboard. She's like, oh, you're fine. And my wife takes off, right? So then I'm like, oh, so I'm going down. And I mean, it didn't take me 50 yards from the ski lift to just bite it. And and like snowboarding, you don't have to worry about this. You just fall. I mean, like you have to worry about different things. But in snowboarding, you fall, you either break a wrist or ribs or whatever. But you can get back up, or you sit down, your legs are put in. But skis are separate, right? You can't see both my hands, right? Here we go. So skis are separate, and so what happened was I fell down face forward, but then my legs crossed, and both my the toes of the skis dug in up the hill, up the mountain, and my face was heading down the mountain. So I'm like pinned in by my feet, by the skis, stuck in the snow, and you can't when your legs are crossed, you can't uncross. Well, maybe you can if it's ripped or something, but I'm like a pudgy, mid-30's, not working out on a regular basis, eating fried foods and cheeseburgers and chicken wings, whatever, it was just for fun. And man, I couldn't get up. And so my wife's 100 yards down the mountain, and she's yelling at me "Come, just get up!" Oh, that's my problem. I don't know how to get up. Are you kidding me? Just get up? If that's your encouragement? I mean, let's be honest. I've gotten up a million times. I've gotten up from seating positions. I've gotten up from laying down positions. I've gotten up from chairs, from couches. I've gotten up from all sorts of different situations. If the problem was just getting up, I'd already be up, right? I can't get up because look at my feet in these skis. I can't get out of the boots. I can't get out of the skis. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to, do this. I'm so ill. I'm cussing up a storm. I'm like, wife, why don't you use your mountaineering skills, hike back up here and help your husband out, right? Isn't that why we got married? For better or worse, for sickness and health, when you fuck it up on the top of the mountain. I don't know that was specifically said in our vows, but you help brother out for a second. So she starts to walk her way back up the mountain in her skis, and a ski patrol guy slides in like an asshole, and then he's like, you can't be laying down in the middle of a run. Oh, are you shitting me? Oh, do you think I just decided to just lay here, face down the mountain, legs crossed? Are you kidding me? Could you come over here? And then he just skis off. Hey, dipshit, get out of here. I did my job as a ski patrol. Why don't you ski over here and help me up? Did that ever cross your mind? No, of course not, because you're an idiot. What do you do? Smoke weed and ski patrol? You're 60. Get a job. Why would you? I've got my wife yelling at me. I've got ski patrol yelling at me. So I'm finished. This is my first run down the mountain on skis. First time ever. I made it 50 yards from the ski lift, and I was like, fuck this. I'm never skiing again. This is the dumbest thing ever. So I finally get one ski off, undone. So then I get the other ski off, right? I'm ready to go. I get my skis. My wife makes it back up. She's like, hey, what can I do? Nothing. I'm going to take my skis. I'm going to walk back to my hotel room where it's nice and warm. I'm going to get a cup of coffee at Starbucks. And I brought a book, and I'm going to read my book, drink some coffee by a fire, and I'm going to enjoy my life. That's what I'm going to do because I'm on vacation. And this is way too much work, and I'm tired of getting talked shit to when I just decided I would learn how to ski in my mid-30s. Just because I'm an adult doesn't mean I just know how to ski. Why is there such impatience? I don't know. Piss me off. So for I don't know if it was the rest of the day, but at least for the next 3 or 4 hours, I didn't do shit on the mountain. I was like, nope, I'm going inside. I'm going to cool my temper off, heat up my toes and everything. So long story short is I went out the next day or whenever the next time, and I made it, little by little improvements. And then I went out again. I didn't give up forever. And then I've just slowly been able to go because my wife's family enjoys skiing, so we always try to go with her family. So I've gone a number of times, and each time I get better. I try to just crush the greens, and my wife goes up the blues or she'll go blacks or something, and I just say, look, like I'm just not there. Like I got to know my role as a newbie, and just take these greens and just go. And I've been trying to work it to the point where I crushed the greens. So we were in Breckenridge a couple years ago out in Colorado, and my goal is to start at the highest green possible and just like ski as fast as I could without eating it all the way down to the chairlift. And I was so stoked because halfway down, some of the ski patrol people yelled at me, "Hey, slow down!" And I was like, I'm ready for the blues. I've graduated to the point where I'm so badass on the greens, I'm being told to calm it down. So I know it's not really like for you like shred heads out there and you good skiers. It's not you're probably not patting your back or putting a feather in your cap for that. But I think when you start a new hobby and you start something new in your 30s, really you just have to just set your expectations in a realistic manner and you just enjoy it. That's what I do. I let my wife go. And I just say, hey, like it'd be fun to ski some greens, but once you're warmed up, like go do what you want to do, and I'll just work on it myself. And then like we lived in Boston last year, so we got to go up to Stowe and we got to go up to Killington, which is really fun. Those are two of like the big places in the East, and I got to ski and I did a lot better. And like I said, we're heading out to Snowmass in Colorado, so I finally got to where I could do some blues and. This past winter, and now it's time to go again, and we'll just see. I'll start on greens, and I'll give myself plenty of time, plenty of opportunities to make mistakes, and I'll drink a lot of coffee. I may even read a book, but yeah, I just want to encourage you. Don't think that your age is something that holds you back in terms of learning something new. Life is a journey, and it's here to experience, and the more that we can go and do things. I think, I look back at our time in Breckenridge, my wife and I were skiing down this green, and I was I weigh a fair amount more than her, so I was faster on like the kind of like the less steep parts, and I look in the woods and I thought it was a bear, and it was a moose, and the moose came across the run, and like it was just cool. You see a wild moose out in Breckenridge, Colorado. I never would have seen that if I hadn't gotten involved in skiing, if I hadn't, been with my wife and she hadn't gotten me into doing something new. So, just fun, little stories. Let me know what you think, anything you'd like to know. I'll just keep putting out these videos, and maybe we'll get somebody in here one of these days, sometime soon, and we'll start having some conversations. But thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next episode.